Hey, so I wanted to tell another story about one of the first times that I heard God speaking to me and giving me directions on something to do. And this story is one of my favorites. They really all are because they're all unique and they're every time I interact with God, it's the most exciting thing ever for me. But this was one that really touched my heart because it was an opportunity to love somebody else when God was wanting to help somebody else, and I got to be a part of it. And so this was soon after my first experience hearing God and me diving into like being so excited that God was actually real and talking to me that that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to talk to God all day long and worship and sing and experience him. So I was well into that, and it happened again. I was going to pick up my kids at school when my first two were in middle school, and I went about probably 15 minutes early so that I could park in front of the school and just have a little prayer time. I brought my Bible with me. I was excited to spend this time with God, just talking to him. And I pulled up behind a parent, a mother, whose car wasn't working. So she had her hood up and she was out of the car looking underneath the hood. And I thought to myself, oh, that's a bummer. I wish I could help her, but I don't know anything about cars. And so I got out my Bible and I'm gonna spend my time and just pray and read. And I hear God speak to me again in my thoughts again, very clearly. I'd like you to go out there and pray for her car to work. And when I heard it, it was like the feeling of terror struck me because I did not want to do that. I did not believe that I could pray for her car to work and that it would. I felt instantly humiliated. I felt nauseous. I everything turned in me immediately into a very dark feeling of just feeling embarrassed, crushed, emotionally distraught. I cannot even describe to you how much I did not want to go out there and pray for her car to work. I just did not want to do it with every fiber of my being. I had zero faith that it would work, and I was petrified. And I actually had like a sassy remark, like, when your kids get so sassy to you and they just respond with like the worst thing. And I said to God, I actually said, I'm not in the habit of making myself look like an idiot, thank you. And God spoke right back to me, just like that. I'm not in the habit of making my children look like idiots. And I'm just like, oh no, I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to do it because if I don't, how could I come back and talk to you? I know that you're talking to me and I know what you've asked me to do. And I thought, oh no, I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to do it. And I'm just telling you, I wanted to throw up. I felt so nervous. I was completely overtaken with anxiety. It was a terrible, terrible feeling. But I get out of my car and I walk over to her, and I'm just so nervous and I'm feeling so defeated. And I said, oh, looks like your car's not working, huh? And she's like, yeah, I don't know what happened. She said, all of a sudden, all the lights went out. Like all the electricity went out in the car. Like the power is just gone. The dashboard's off. None of the lights will turn on. It just went out. And I'm like, okay, well, and I said it just like this. Well, I just pray that your car would work in Jesus' name. And the lights went on, the headlights went on, and all the lights came on in the dash. And I was more surprised than she was that it just happened. Everything went on. And she just said, well, and she closed the hood, and I'm stunned. And mind you, my heart is in my chest. It's just pounding. I just feel like I don't even know what just happened here. I had no faith for this to work. I just went on sheer obedience that I was hearing God, and totally just that. That was all I was doing. I heard his voice, and I just said, well, I just pray your car would work. And all of a sudden, the most amazing thing happened. And we're just standing out in the street in front of the school, and there's cars lined up everywhere, both sides of the streets. And this woman just starts pouring her heart out to me. And she's telling me that, oh my goodness, my life just fell apart. My husband and I, our relationship just ended, and I have to find a place to live. And I was going to college, but I can't go anymore because I'm not going to be able to afford it. And I was going to Alverno, and I just held her, and she cried, and I just prayed for her. I don't remember what I prayed, but I prayed for her. And then the thought came to me that one of my best friends in the whole world, Erica, was on the board of the alumni for Alverno. I think she was the chairperson of the board of alumni for Alverno that year. And that's a women's private college near us. And I said, you know what? Let me contact my friend and see if there's something they can do for you. And so I did. I called Erica and I told her the whole story. And they ended up voting to give this woman a full scholarship to attend Alverno. And our paths didn't cross again. I didn't keep up with her because she wasn't probably wanting that at this stage. It wasn't like we formed a deep friendship. But what happened was so significant for both of us, because what happened was she was in a desperate situation, and God made a way for her, whether or not she even believed he existed. He was loving her, and he was present for her, and he made sure she got what she needed. I got to hear from God on behalf of another person. And you know, it almost makes me, now that I think about it, I wonder if he just made the lights on her car go out right before I got there so that he could tell me to go out there and do that, and that he would not only fix her car, but help to fix her life, to let her know that he was there and he was supplying her needs for her. And I got to be a part of it. And now it's a cool story I get to tell. And once again, we get to experience the realness of a present God who loves us, who knows what we need, who will send someone who is listening on our behalf to supply our need when we have a need, and that we, as people who are listening, get to be a part of how he wants to bless and love somebody else. I love this story. It's one of my favorite stories. And I just pray for you that you get to be the person that God sends because you're listening, that you get to be a part of somebody else getting exactly what they need. The love, the help, the resource, and the experience of knowing that they are loved by the one who created them. I love you. I can't wait to hear your stories. If you have thoughts, if you have questions, if you have stories, share them with me. Or go onto the Facebook page for Abide With Me and share your stories and share your questions and share your thoughts, because I love to connect with you about this. We are all one in him. We are all one, and we get to be the body part the other one is needing. And it just makes me feel so thrilled and excited to be a part of this journey with you guys. I love you, love you, love you, and I bless your day. Can't wait to hear how God speaks to you and how you get to be the answer to somebody else's prayers. Love you. See you later.